Hello, everyone. Welcome to Free Write Friday. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jessica Lynn Johnson, and I am the founder and CEO of Soaring Solo Studios, which is a company that is dedicated to coaching, developing, directing, and producing solo shows all around the world. I have the privilege of working alongside my colleague, Heather Dowling, who is also an award-winning solo theater performer, director, and coach. And it is our honor to be able to help people tell their stories from stage all over the world. That is what we love to do and get to do. Um, I've been in this field for over 20 years. I've directed and developed probably over 200 solo shows at this point and produced hundreds more. I've toured internationally with my two solo shows for over a decade. And I'm a director and teaching artist with the LA Women's Theater Festival. And I also write a blog called Soaring Solo on the NoHo Arts website. And that just gives you a bunch of tips and techniques on how to be a successful solo artist. So that's a little bit about me. I would love to hear from you. Please say where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're at in your solo theater journey. Maybe you're just curious. You're not even sure if you want to create a solo show. Maybe you're already touring the world with a solo show or two or more under your belt. Maybe you've just written down some ideas or have a first draft complete. Wherever you're at is perfect. The whole mission of Free Write Friday is to meet you wherever you're at, help you get to the next level, and most importantly, be in creative community and have creative self-expression, which I believe is so important to your wellness, to all of our wellness and wholeness. And if you miss any of the Free Write Fridays, you can always go back to my YouTube channel and just watch the replays. I always put them there. So let's dive in. We've been talking about the internal family systems therapy model the last few times in Free Write Friday. Internal family systems, otherwise known as IFS. And we've been looking at how it correlates with solo theater and how it can actually help you as a solo theater artist discover characters for your solo show, discover themes or stories, storylines, plot points that you might want to include in your solo show. And the belief of IFS is that we're all made up of several parts or sub-personalities. And the founder of IFS is Dr. Richard Schwartz, and he thinks of the mind as an inner family. And there are unhealthy and healthy roles within that family. So I believe last time we looked at managers. That's a protective part of the internal family. And today we're going to look at the part called exiles. So exiles are the wounded, very vulnerable parts of our psyche that carry our trauma, our pain, our shame from past experiences. They're the parts of the system that the protectors, the managers, and the firefighters are literally trying to exile away from us. They don't want us to be consciously aware or feeling of the exiled parts because the pain is just too great, it's too intense, it's too overwhelming. And so what then happens is the exiled parts of us are in a loop and they're just reliving these past events, and having these extreme emotions that they're holding inside. And that's turning into beliefs. Beliefs like I'm unlovable, I'm not enough, I'm broken, there's something wrong with me, whatever those things are, they're being internalized by the exiled parts. So if you're trying to think, well, what would the exiled parts of me be? Some questions to ask yourself, or things to look for, I should say, are painful memories and emotions, the emotional burdens of the past, such as feelings of rejection, fear, and shame. So when you look at your past, what are the memories that come up that bring feelings of rejection, fear, and shame, and other negative emotions? You might also think about younger, fragile parts of yourself, the child you or the teenage you or the young adult within you, those younger, fragile parts of self. And also, what beliefs might you be carrying about yourself, that you're not good enough, that you're broken, that you're unlovable, that you're innately, inherently bad or wrong? Those are things to be considering when you're trying to find the exiled parts of yourself. And also you might look for being stuck in time, stuck in a loop, reliving a particular traumatic or just painful bad memory. that is also going to point to an exiled part of self. So an example from the Soaring Solo community to try and help make this tangible would be Michael Lovestrong. He did a show in the Stars series this fall called Unwitnessed: The Search for Identity After Leaving a Cult. And Michael went through a lot of trauma and had a lot of painful memories. And in his show, he actually talks about internal family systems therapy and how that allowed him to meet these different parts of self and do some reparenting and have conversations with them and really try to heal them. But there was one particular part of self that wasn't moving along, and that was the younger version of Michael. I think he was, I want to say like 9 or 10 years old or something in this memory, and it was a real life memory from his life where little him was being physically abused and abused in other ways as well. And he had gone to a phone and a phone book and had looked up an abuse hotline and was going to call, but he didn't. He didn't call. Little him did not call, but he just left the phone book open to that page. And that memory froze in his mind. It froze in his mind as a painful memory, a moment where he didn't make the call. And so in the show, Michael wrote a beautiful, powerful scene where he has a conversation as adult present day Michael with this younger self who's still stuck at the phone, stuck at the phone booth, or stuck with the phone book, and is wanting to make that call. And Michael just tells his younger self, "You're safe now. You're no longer in that, scary position anymore. Those things are no longer happening to you. You are safe. I am here to protect you. I'm here to keep you safe." And had that healing, transformative conversation on stage. And it was such an incredibly powerful scene. So for today's writing exercise, I really want you to think about your own life. Think about maybe a memory that you're stuck in, something that doesn't feel healed from your past, a younger version of you that's kind of on loop, replaying something painful or traumatic that happened to you. And then I want you to think about present day you, adult you, and what could you say to that young part of self? What does that younger part of self have to say? What do they need to have heard, and what do they want to do? What do they need to express? And then what can you say to them to help them heal, to help them find peace, to help them transform? And maybe this will lead you to writing a scene. When I turn over the clock to writing time, maybe you'll write a scene between the two of you. Maybe just your exiled part, the younger self, just needs to be heard, and you just need to make space for it to be heard. Or maybe what's coming up for you is what you need to say to that younger part of self, what no adult figure, nobody else in your life was saying to you at that time that you desperately needed to hear, to be validated, to be healed, to be seen and witnessed. So I want you to just let this percolate, and whatever comes out on the page is perfect. Those are just some ideas. And I'm going to set my timer for 8 minutes. I'll let you know when the 8 minutes are up. And I'll join you back in 8 minutes. Got about 5.5 minutes left. 5.5 minutes. About 1 minute left. Okay, please go ahead and wrap up your writing. And hopefully that was healing or at least interesting to you and brought up something um, from inside that might be of service to your solo show. At least one takeaway from today's prompt that I'd like to offer you is the healing power of solo theater, not just for your audience, but also for you. Because as you dig into your memories, as you work collaboratively with your creative team, your director, other solo artists, you start to see things from a different perspective. If you play characters from your life, or as we did today, different aspects of the self, it just helps the paradigm shift and transformation and healing and growth start to take place. So that's one of my favorite things about solo theater, and why I think I'm so in love with it, is because it is so incredibly healing and transformative, and it has a ripple effect that extends far beyond us and our own personal world, but into the audience and into the people that they know as well. It keeps paying it forward. So I'm just going to roll through some Soaring Solo announcements, some things that are happening in the community, and feel free to jot these down. But the free class, The Art of Creating the One-Person Show, that's the 90-minute free class that I've been teaching for almost 2 decades at this point. That is happening on Zoom on Saturday, November 22nd, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can go to soaringSoloStudios.com and sign up under free stuff. And I will give you a writing prompt in that class, as well as hear your writing and offer you notes, and you can get wonderful feedback from your peers as well. If you're ever curious about working with me or with Heather, you can set up an initial consultation, or we can bring you into one of our small groups. We also have intensives and in-person workshops, power pairs, lots of different ways to get you involved in the Soaring Solo community. So feel free to email me at soaringsoloartist@gmail.com for more information, or just fill out a form on the contact page on my website. We also do a series called Revealed, and Revealed is a virtual reading series where you are given the opportunity to read your script as a work in progress to a virtual audience. We co-produce it with you. You work to get an audience, we work to get an audience, and we get the right perfect people to be there to bear witness to your story, to offer their questions, the things that resonated, and for you to have a stake, a meaningful stake to put in the ground toward bringing your solo show to manifestation. And so we really encourage you to do a reading of your solo show before you invest in actually premiering it on stage, because we want to see what's working or not working with the script before you make that sort of investment of time and resources, talents, heart, blood, sweat, tears, all the things. So email me at soaringsoloartist@gmail.com if you're interested in doing Revealed. And if you enjoyed Free Write Friday and you want to come back, the next one is happening Friday, December 5th, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Sign up the same way you did under free stuff on the soaringSoloStudios.com website. And be sure to look for Soaring Solo Studios on YouTube. And watch all the different hundreds of videos of free content that we have there to help you on your solo theater journey. Also, really be cognizant of the different festivals that are happening, whether they're specifically solo theater festivals or whether they're just performance festivals in general. Festivals are such a wonderful way to build in support, community, deadlines, exposure to audiences that wouldn't have otherwise crossed your path, the possibility to get reviews, to win awards or be nominated for awards, lots of perks to being involved in a festival. Right now, this is the final weekend of the Binge Fringe Festival at the Santa Monica Playhouse. It's free for audiences to attend. It's completely grant funded by the city of Santa Monica. And they are live streaming some of the performances, so you can go to their YouTube page and watch some of the previously streamed shows, or I don't know if any of the ones this weekend are streaming or not, but you could look into it. Totally free. The New York City Fringe Festival, which I now believe is called Frigid, That's a wonderful festival. The Orlando Fringe, United Solo, which is it's on Theater Row, 42nd Street. It's the largest solo theater festival in the world. That happens in the spring and in the fall. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is the mothership of all the festivals. The Philly Fringe, the LA Women's Theater Festival, and the Soaring Solo Stars series, which we just concluded this past weekend, and we'll be bringing back encores in January. So there's so many more festivals than that, but that'll give you plenty of homework to start to look into those. Lastly, I'll just bring up my blog again. Again, if you go to NoHo Arts, that's NOHO Arts website, and look up Soaring Solo. You'll find my blog with a bunch of tips for you on your solo theater journey. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, you know where to find me, soaringSoloStudios.com. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.